The man pulled out his phone on the subway, but the next second, it started melting in his hands. In an instant, it turned into sand and dirt. That's when he noticed everyone else's phones were disappearing too, but no one around him seemed to notice anything strange. Terrified, he ran off the train. As he passed a phone booth, it suddenly exploded. The phone inside vanished without a trace. Panicked, he rushed into a phone store, but what he saw made him freeze. The phones on the shelves had all turned into books, and the phone store had turned into a stationery shop. Then, a sharp pain hit his head. His memories of phones started breaking apart. It was like phones had never existed in this world, and all of this started because he made a deal with death. For every extra day he lived, one thing in the world would disappear. His name is Mike. He used to be just an ordinary mailman. That day, while out delivering letters, his vision suddenly blurred. He collapsed hard onto the ground. Later, at the hospital, the doctor gave him devastating news. He had a malignant brain tumor. There wasn't much time left. The diagnosis hit him like a thunderbolt. He felt hopeless, and there was nothing he could do. Back home, he just wanted to talk to his cat. But then, a stranger appeared in his apartment. Someone who looked exactly like him. The man said he was deaf, and since Mike was supposed to die tomorrow, he came today to offer him a deal. Mike could choose for one thing in the world to disappear, and in return, he'd get to live one more day. Mike didn't know what to say. Just then, his phone rang. It was his boss, asking him to come back to work. Mike hesitated. He wanted to say he was sick and couldn't make it, but all he said was that he needed the day off. Seeing how uncertain he was, Death suggested they make phones disappear. That way, no one could ever call him for work again. And now, Mike had one last phone call to make. He flipped through his contacts and chose to call his ex-girlfriend. They met in front of a movie theater. As they talked about old times, there was a hint of sadness between them. Mike chose to call her because that's how they first met. Years ago, Mike was watching an old movie at home. She dialed the wrong number and reached him by mistake. They ended up talking for hours. Turns out, they had a lot in common. From that day on, they could never run out of things to say. Their phone calls lasted for hours, sometimes from sunset to sunrise. Soon, they fell in love. They were truly happy. Even after spending the day together, they'd still talk on the phone late into the night. But the good times didn't last. They broke up in their third year, and Mike never called her again. Until now, he wanted to tell her he was sick, but before he could say a word, Death appeared again. And this time, he revealed a shocking secret. Want to know what Death said? Follow me and leave a comment. I'll post part 2 very soon.